All right, so the first thing you want to look at, you have a couple options to get into your RightSignature account. From ShareFile, all you need to do is come over here to the left and choose Signatures, and it will open RightSignature. What you can also do is if you go to RightSignature.com, you can choose Login in the top right corner here. And then, well, it already logged me in, but there we go. So then it'll ask for your subdomain, and then you'll put in your login information and it'll take you to the same page. But I'm going to go ahead and do it from ShareFile. That way I don't have to enter my password twice. So the first page you'll come to here is the RightSignature page. You'll see all your documents that you've sent. You'll also see the option for document templates, which we'll go over in a little bit. And you can also change your account settings over here. So to start a document, all you have to do is click this Start Document button. It'll give you a number of options. The simplest and most straightforward is this Send for Signature. So to access that, you just click there, and then you do Choose from Computer. And we'll just use this onboarding form. So it's going to upload my document. It gives me a little preview here so I can see that it's set up correctly. And then just click Prepare Document. Here I can add signers to the document. So I can come in here and I can add Tepe is in here. So I'll add Tepe. If I want, I can also add additional signers. So if I also wanted to send it to John, I can come in here and do John. So then I have both of them in there. What I can then also do is set signer order. Signer order will not let subsequent signers do anything until the previous signer has completed the document and signed it and submitted it. So in this example, Tepe would have to, he would get the document, sign the document, submit it, and then John would get an email that says he can now sign it. So you can have any number of signers, and if you want, you can rearrange them to have whichever order you want. If you yourself need to sign the document, you can click Add Yourself, and it will put you in there as well. And again, same thing, you can move around in the signer order. We're going to remove that signer order, and we'll just use Tepe today. Also, if you need to, you can use contact integrations. You can only have one of these enabled at a time, but you can easily come in here and switch them on and off. By default, it's going to have your ShareFile contact integration, so it will pull contacts from your ShareFile account. But you can also enable Google, Salesforce, Podio. All right, so we're just going to go with a single signer here, and we're going to use Tepe. So we'll do Place Fields. So over on the right, you have your fields that you can place. You got your signature field, your text field, date field, checkboxes. If you click Show More, you'll get a few more. So if you want to do a checkbox group, you need to do initials, a select box, all of those. You can also annotate. And annotate means you add the additional information when you place the field. So if for whatever reason you need to add a signature to a document you're sending, but you don't want to go through don't need to go through the whole signature process, you can do that annotate here. And then when you place that, if I click the right one. So when you place that field, then it'll ask for your signature, and then it'll show up on the document when the signer gets it. So I'll go ahead and remove these two. You also have a couple extra tools down here. The easiest one, or the best one I find to use, is the import overlay. This lets me choose a different document that I've already sent, either from a template or a one-off document that I've sent. So I could come in here and do onboarding form, and then it's going to ask me to assign those components. So on the other form, it had this signer, so I can set those to Tepe. So if I had two signers on this, it wouldn't add additional fields, only for that signer one. So I can do import, and as you can see, it adds all those fields automatically. And all you have to do then is send the document, because it has put a checkbox group in here, it's put my text fields, it's put my date fields, and the signature, all assigned to Tepe. So that's a really handy one to have. Another one you can do, let me delete this, is field detection. So if you turn on field detection and then choose a field, so we'll place that date field back on here. What it's going to do is it'll recognize that this line is here and automatically place the field matching that line. It will, if you have a bunch of white space above it, it will maximize that. So you may need to adjust it sometimes, but then you don't have to worry about like making sure it's placed directly on that line. It'll automatically pick that up. So now that we have all our fields placed, one other thing, if you ever need to change options on a field, just double click on the field and you'll see the field options. Click show more so you can see them all. So for this one, I like everything here. We'll come into address. Address, I want to be multi-line, so it doesn't just have a single line in there that just gets smaller the more information's put in. So I make sure multi-line's clicked on this address field. And then those are your fields there. So you just go to next review. This is going to be the email that gets sent to the user that's signing. If you want to add a CC, this will be somebody who's not involved in the signing process, but they will be updated about everything that does happen on the document. You can do that and just put in their email address. Then you can add a personalized message. So if you want to say something specific about this document, like a more specific date reminder, like, hey, we really could use this in the next week instead of a month, which is the default expiration for a document. You can do that kind of stuff. Down here at the bottom, you can change that expiration. So if you had a hard deadline of a week, you could come in here and set it to that 7 days or whatever you need to. If you want to enable a passcode, this is an extra security feature. You can come in here, it'll click passcode and it'll generate this PIN. You can also come in here and change it. So if we just wanted to have it be set there, or you could have it generate a new random PIN. And then you would provide this number outside of the document process. So you could call them and give it to them over the phone. You could send a separate email with it, however you want to share that PIN code with the user. So I'm going to turn that off. If you ever want to add any tags, so if you have client ID numbers, you could come in here, put that, and then put their client ID number. So now once this document's completed, it will have Tepe's ID number on it. And then if I ever need to look up all the documents that he signed in my RightSignature account, I can just search that specific tag from my homepage. All right. So all you have to do now is do send document, and it will send the document to him for signature. Unfortunately, I don't have Tepe here today to sign the document. So we'll come back over here. I think what we can do, I think I have a previous one. Yep. So this is one he'd signed a couple weeks ago. So once he goes through, he will complete the document. It'll pop up little red tags along the side to show where those signatures go and where all the information. And he comes through here, enters all the information, signs, and hit submit. And once that's done, then I can see it in my account, as we can see here. As you can see, I put some tags on it earlier. So I put the year, I gave it an employee number, and then you can download this document. So if you come up here to download, you have a couple options. The first is the original PDF, which is going to be the document before it went through RightSignature. Then you'll have the completed PDF, which is the document after it went through RightSignature. Then you have the signature certificate, which is going to have all the information about IP addresses, times that everything was signed, all that good information that's required for e-signature verifications. Then you can also do a combined PDF, which will be the completed copy and the signature certificate. So if we scroll down here, we can see the signature certificate. So it has a reference number. If you ever need to call into support about anything, have this reference number available, and they can easily pull up your document and see if there's any problem with it. You can also get the reference number over here at the very bottom on the right column there. But yeah, as we can see, it says exactly when it was emailed, when Tepe signed and submitted. All right. The next thing we want to get into here is templates. Similar to the sending a one-off document, you can create a template, which will allow you to send the same document multiple times. So if you're sending the same thing to all your clients, you can create these templates. Just come here to new template and then choose an upload a file. We'll just use this onboarding form again. And then you go prepare document. You can give your signer a name. So we can call this an employee. You can also add additional roles, the same as if you were adding individual users. You will assign these email address contacts when you send the document, but on the template, they're just placeholder names. So generally make sure you name them something logical to whatever your document is, and it'll make it easier if you ever need to come in and edit or make changes in the future. And again, you can also add sender role, which is whoever is sending the template, which doesn't necessarily mean the person that's creating it. So we'll go to place fields now. And again, all you have to do is come in here. I'll make sure my field detection is on. So I can do a text field here. Again, it does take up all the white space above it. So I just need to make that a little bit smaller. We could do a date field. Again, it's going to do the same thing. So let me go ahead. We'll delete these and just use import overlay. So we've already done all of these. All right, so there are all our fields. Now we can go next review. And for a template, this section is going to be just the defaults that come up when someone tries to send this template. So if you put a message in here, that message will come up and you can send it with that message, or you'll be able to change it whenever you're sending the template. Again, you can set your expiration and your tags, the name of the form or the document, and you can also add CCs. So we'll go ahead and do create here. And now we're coming to our template management page. On the left, you can see the template and all the fields. As you can see, each of the fields is assigned to employee as the role, and they are green. If you ever added additional signers, each assignee's fields will be a different color. So that's an easy way to quickly tell that, especially if you have it divided like spouses and like spouse one's on the left, spouse two on the right, you could easily see, all right, all my greens are on the left, all my blues are on the right. So you can make sure everything's lined up correctly. So you have a couple options over here for the actions. You can always edit your template, which will take you back through the process. You can make changes to these fields if something's out of place, or if you need to change the formatting to like multi-line, for example. You can come in here to edit. If you want to send it, so if you're ready to send it to somebody, just click there, and we can come in here and we can, again, look up Tepe, choose him, next review. It'll skip directly to the message because it already knows exactly what Tepe needs to fill out on the form, and we've already placed all those fields. We can make any changes here we need to from those defaults we may have set during template creation, and then we just do send document, and it'll send off another copy of this form for Tepe to sign. So if I come back into my templates here, all right. And a couple other options you have, you can generate a share link. So if you just want to share this via link to somebody or a number of people, you can do that. So if I had like 10 people coming on, but I didn't necessarily know if they were going to sign, instead of blowing them up their email, you can send them this link and they can, they'll click on it and then they can complete the document. You have a couple options here. You can name the link. So you may put a specific company name if you're sending to a lot of people at one company, something like that, just so you know, can identify the link easy. You can also limit the number of uses. So if you only wanted 10 people to be able to sign this, you can set it to 10 people. If you want it to expire, so if you want to give them 2 weeks to complete this, you can come in here, put 14 days, 2 weeks. You also have the identity method. By default, this is going to be email. So once they complete the document and submit it, they will then get an email that says, hey, are you the one who submitted this document? They click that link and it finalizes the send, the document. You can also do a text message. You can also set that to none. We generally would not recommend setting it to none because then someone gets a hold of this link, could potentially sit there and spam it or use up all your uses. and then you have to go through the whole process again. So generally we would recommend email or text message, which is SMS. All right, so then if we click generate link, it gives you a copy of that link, and you can paste that into anything you want and send it out for people to sign that document. You also have embed in website. Similarly, this will create a link. This one will create it with HTML, so you can actually put it on a website very easily, and users could click on it and sign it. Again, it's going to have expiration, limit uses, identity method. You also, for the HTML, you can either have it set up as a button, an image, or an inline link. So those are your options there. Once you've created an embed or a link, if you come to manage links and embeds, you can see these. I forgot to give this one a name. It should have the name there, but if you ever need to access that, you can come in here to view link and get another copy of it. You can also come into details, which it's probably not going to show anything because we haven't used it, but this will show, anybody who's accessed the link, anybody who's signed the link, also your identity method and the signers and when it expires. If you're done with that link, so if you had 5 people sign it and everybody's like, nope, no one else is going to sign it, you can come in here and disable that. Then you don't have to worry about it being used anymore. You just click disable and it's good. You also have the option to re-enable. So if someone comes back and says, hey, we need one more of those, you just say, all right, they can just go back in and click the link. It should work. You also have the ability here to view responses. So once people have completed this document, I can click view responses. It'll automatically bring me back to my documents homepage, and it will show all the people who have completed that, all the documents that have been completed through that template. So you can easily see like, oh, I've used this template 500 times, or I've used it 100 times, or I've only used it twice.
Do you want to send it to me since it's a link?
Yeah, we can send it to you.
You can put it in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
And in the background, I will do that.
All right. So I just come into here, I do view link, copy it.
Perfect.
There we go.
Thanks, Cord. All right, back to you.
All right, Dealey's gonna go ahead and complete that, and then we can see how she's completed it. Couple other options here I wanted to show where the...
Can you re-enable it?
Oh.
Sorry. It's just, yeah.
Well, we know disable works.
We know it works. Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one other thing I wanted to show is email verification for your RightSignature account. So if your employees are signing documents themselves through the RightSignature process, so if somebody, say Carol in accounting, sends out a form but needs Jim in HR to sign most of these forms, instead of Jim getting those emails, going into RightSignature through the email, completing it, Jim can actually come into his settings here. He can scroll down to verify emails, and he can add a verified email. What this will do is, instead of him having to wait for those emails to come in, he could come into his RightSignature homepage under documents, and he will see those documents there and can just click the sign button from there rather than needing to go through the email process. So after you put the email address in here, you'll get an email to verify that, and once you've clicked through the verification link, you will then be able to sign documents that have been shared to you on your account directly from your documents page, and you don't have to wait for the emails to come through or deal with that process on your end. So that's a very good way to handle it. One other thing I wanted to show about templates is merge fields, and I don't think I have one set up on either of those. So what we can do though, because Delia's doing that one, we'll come into this one and we'll do an edit. We're not changing the document, so we can just hit prepare. We're not changing the roles. So what we can do under fields here. So let's say I know who I'm sending this document to all the time, and I know their name. What I could do is come in here to merge field and enable that. So what a merge field will do is, before I send that template I will need to complete that information as the sender. And then when the signer gets that document, they will then see that that merge field has already been filled out. So you can put their name in here, for example, and then when they get it, they will see their name. That's just one example. You can come up with a lot of different options to what the merge field is doing. So you can send out a document very easily without having to sit there and place all the fields or fill it out in your Adobe or whatever PDF preparing software you're using. You can do it all directly in RightSignature from a completely blank document. So if we just do next here and then update. All right, so now if I do send for signature, use Tepe again. Now we'll have this next merge field set. So what it's going to ask us is to fill out this specific option. So we can put Tepe's name in here. Now when Tepe gets the document, he will see it with his name already filled out. He doesn't fill out that form or that particular part of the form. You can do merge fields with most of our options here. So dates, addresses, I think even checkboxes. But yeah, it'll ask you to fill out all those. So now we can send it to him to fill out. All right, Delia, did you finish our document?
I did, and I have an action required. Please verify your email to complete this signing the document onboarding form. So I went to my email, I just got it. I'm gonna click on the confirm document button that comes up, and it says that I've successfully confirmed my identity. So all I had to do was click on that button.
All right, so now if we come back into our templates here, now if we click view responses, nope, that was the wrong one. Oh, it's because I edited that one. So come on to that one, and then view responses, and then we can see Delia's completed form here. And we can click into it.
Look at the picture too, because it's one of my dogs, and
okay,
it's super cute. So
there we go.
But yeah, I didn't have an ID to upload, but you can enjoy this photo of my dog.
But yeah, so yeah, after it's completed, as we can see, the information she included was in here. We get her picture, we can click on that to bring it up, and then we have her signature and all the information. And so we could easily fire off this document as many times as we want with a template, or send it again as she completed it with a link. So lots of easy ways to send those documents out, especially with those templates. A couple other options you would have in here. If you want to sign a document just by yourself, you can do that. If you want to send a document package, so if you have 3 or 4 forms or documents you're sending all at once to one person, you can use send document package, and it'll let you upload multiples, and then it will create one continuous document with all of those in it. You can also do bulk send for signature. This is going to send the same document to multiple people, and that will use a template. So similar to a link, but you're initiating it directly to their emails. So if you click the template there, and then you'll do upload signers, and then down here you'll get an Excel document with the formatting for the signer list. Complete that, and then just choose that file from your computer, and it'll populate all the contacts and send them all out. So if you have a bunch of people you're sending stuff to, and it's all the same document, but the same document individualized for each user, you can do it that way. And then if you want to, you can send your templates from here rather than going to the template section. And if for whatever reason you need sign in person, you can do that. That will bring it up. So if you have a tablet in your office, you could do sign in person, use a template, pull up that template, then they could sign it right there without having to go through the email and everything. So if you come into your ShareFile account and go to Browse Employees, and then choose one of your employees, this is how you assign your licenses if you have a joint account. Just come to User Access, and then under eSignature, to give a user permission to use the RightSignature, you have to give them the send documents for eSignature, and that uses up one of the licenses. Generally, you'll have 1-to-1 licenses for RightSignature. So you should be able to assign all your employee users an e-signature license. Then you have these other two permissions, and these are admin level permissions. The first one's going to be manage e-signature templates. That will let people go in and modify templates. The other one is to view all e-signature documents. That will give them access to every document on the account, not just the ones they have sent. So if they have that permission and they come in here to their document search bar, and if you click filter, they will then have this admin view checkbox. And if you check that, it will then show all the documents sent out from the account, not just the ones that user has sent. So yeah, it's that admin view. So view all e-signature documents gives admin view on your search bar here. So under account settings, if you scroll down to here, so if I go to send, put demonstration in there. All right, so yeah, over here you can see it already has signed because I have this email is verified to my account I'm logged in with. So if I click that, it'll go through the signing process. But also here, I'll have the sign. So if I just click sign, and it'll take me right to the signing process. So I can
And while Court's typing, the advantage of having that verified email means that, like, if you wouldn't see that sign button if you didn't have a verified email,
yeah.
Which means you would have to get, go to your inbox, find that email, and then go through the sign process. Well, the verified email skips that entirely, which is nice.
Yeah.
And you can have as many verified emails as you want.
And as you can see here on the signing process, this little flag pops up, and if I click on that, it jumps to the next field. So you can just come through here. I don't have anything to upload. We'll just upload that. And then, yeah, if you scroll back up, it kind of just stays at the bottom. If you scrolled past it, it would go to the top. But it tells you exactly where to do your signature. If you are signing a lot of documents in your account here, you will have the option to use a saved signature.
They're so lovely.
Yeah, these are all my test signatures. So yeah, if you're signing a lot, you can use a saved signature. So you can just come in here, click it, and it'll load that in there. So again, if you have somebody that has to sign off on a bunch of stuff in your company, but isn't the one sending the documents, verified email and saved signatures will save them a lot of time. They can come through here, review the document, click the signature, choose their saved signature, apply it, they're done. Submit the document. We now have the option for users to decline a document. So if there's something very wrong in whatever you sent them, and they don't want to sign that, they can go in and decline it. If you have a particularly long document and someone needs to come back to it, all they have to do is click Save Progress. So if I just come back here and then come back to my document, so I'll click Sign again, takes me back in. As we can see, all the information I put in is there. So I don't have to re-enter it all, but I could come back at a later time. So now that we're done, we can just hit submit. Again, it's going to ask you terms of use, privacy, e-sign consent, and then you just click submit again. And now the document's complete. I never had to go into my email to access that. And then there's my signature certificate. So now I can come in here and just download the whole thing. So bulk send you have to use with a template. So we can choose the template we used earlier. Upload signers. As you can see here, it already has name, email, and signer message. So you can personalize the signer messages if you need to. So we'll add myself in here just so we have multiples. So now I can go to select a file from computer. All right. So now we've uploaded that. So as we can see here, it has that 2 signers in because that was how many were in my Excel document. You can obviously put a lot more in there. I'm not going to change this message at all. And I'm going to leave it set to 30 days. And then you can do send document. and then it's going to let you know it's going to multiple people, and hit confirm. Yep, and then we can see it sent it to John Doe and myself, and it used the bulk send option. So you can also see how these have been sent. So from templates, sent by you, or bulk send. So now those users would come in, sign the document, same as if you'd sent it one off at a time.